Standing pretty mini with a pretty sharp machete. Here's your look at the brand new Iron Studios MiniCo Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees. Haunting the camp at Crystal Lake, Jason Voorhees is the main antagonist of the Friday the 13th franchise and one of the most adored monsters of the horror genre in modern pop culture. With his unmistakable trademark hockey mask and holding his inseparable machete, Jason gets this stylized version in Iron Studios' MiniCo line to the delight of fans. Before we spend some time with this stylized slasher, how about the first thing we do is grab this trusty ruler of mine to figure out how tall Jason Voorhees stands from Iron Studios. Looking at the ruler, engaging it against the top of his bald head. No offense, Jason. Probably shouldn't have said that with him holding the machete like that. The figure seems to stand at 5 3/4 of an inch tall, or about 14.5 centimeters tall. Though producing a lot of MiniCo figures over the years, Iron Studios really haven't delved too much in the way of horror. I do have one that I can compare with Jason Voorhees, so I'm going to slide this one over and bring in the black and white version of Pennywise. There was also a colored version of Pennywise, one that I was unfortunately unable to pick up. But I did pick up this Jason over on Entertainment Earth's website, and I do believe that they also have the colored version of Pennywise, one that I would be considering to pick up shortly. But you can definitely see, like, scale-wise, they scale pretty well to one another. Pennywise, if anything, you could give the height and clearance just because of course, he's got the balloon in his hand. But yeah, they fit in quite well with one another. I certainly hope, though, that Iron Studios decide to do more horror characters so that it's not just Jason Voorhees and Pennywise. I think those are the only two that they've done so far. The figure does include one accessory and does involve a little bit of assembly when you first take it out of the packaging. Jason Voorhees comes included with a rather bloodied-looking machete we'll have a look at first. The machete, of course, is missing the back end handle, and what it is basically, it's just a connecting plug that's going to fit inside of his hand. The blade's been nicely painted here in silver. It almost looks like it's a darker silver down below, but I just think it's the way that the light's hitting it. You can see as well there's a nice slathering of blood. And it's not exactly mirrored copied on either side either. I like that this one sort of has more of a, abstract looking art look to it. It actually kind of looks a little like a face. Glasses, nose, and a mouth. Kind of looks a little bit like the Joker. Why am I seeing Joker's face in the blood? Jason Voorhees machete. That's rather disturbing. But what we're going to do, though, is we're going to take the machete. We're going to pick Jason up here. And you can already see right now, there's a dark area right here where you can then take the machete. Or basically just follow the blood. I mean, blood came from the machete and has splattered all to the one side of his body. It also helps as well that this one has a closed fist. But all you really do is just take that little peg right on the end here and just fit it into the hole. Navigate it. And then when you're done, you'll actually be connecting the front of the handle to the back of the handle, which is already molded to the back of his hand. Jason Voorhees does have himself a display stand, which does have the Friday the 13th placard on the front. This was something as well that Pennywise, I don't even think I've actually reviewed that black and white Pennywise. Let me know if you guys would certainly like to see that. But like the Pennywise, it does have the Friday the 13th logo on the front here, printed nicely in a bright white font, so you can easily see that. I think doing this also in red would have also been quite nice too. But maybe they decided to do it in white just because there's so much already red all over his shoes and all over his machete as well. Getting a closer look certainly first at his face. And it's a pretty good looking Jason Voorhees, offering up only just a bit of mild criticism. One thing I do wish that they could have done a little bit more is exaggerated this one eye here. Jason has the one open eye on the one side, but I think to really distort the features on Jason's face, I would have made this quite the lazier eye. Much lazier than what you're seeing right here. I would have even just dropped it down a little bit lower so it wasn't completely aligned with the one right next to it. Unfortunately, the one that I did happen to get does have a line running through his eye. I guess you could consider that a gash more than anything else. And both his iris and his pupil have been nicely painted. You can even see like the lines of his iris in there. Really nice looking figure. Other than, I would maybe have just exaggerated a little bit of the lazy eye on the one side. I think the head sculpt is done quite well. It doesn't really have a lot of paint, to be honest. On the packaging, you'll see at the end in final looks, they put a lot of scratching and stuff on the mask, more for the art that they display on the back of the box. I wish some of that could have also gone onto this mask, because the mask seems pretty clean. If anything, could probably look at this and assume it's Friday the 13th Part 3 Jason, even though it doesn't say anywhere on the display stand. It's just generically putting Friday the 13th. But yeah, we'll spin the thing around so you can see it from all the sides. Of course, the mask isn't removable, so those that were hoping that the mask could come off, unfortunately, will be disappointed. But the way that they've actually changed the coloring of the leather on the back, kind of giving a two-tone look, does work quite well. You can kind of even see like the adjustable straps there, where the straps are adjustable. Nice silver buckles added in there as well. Yeah, it's a good-looking head sculpt. I think I would have just added a little wash or something else to it. Some darker, maybe contrasting colors, I think would have really helped this. Maybe aged the mask a little bit, added a few little scratches and notches there, even if it was just in paint, not necessarily having to sculpt that into the actual mask, but at least if they had put like little painted lines and just really roughed up the mask and given Jason a more lazier looking eye, I think it would have really sold this quite nicely. As for the rest of his body, pretty much stock Friday 13th /3/4 Jason outfit. He does have the more off-green colored shirt. It has a nice, sufficient amount of blood splattered off to the side. He's got a kind of an off-gray, I don't know what you consider those, like a khaki pants, as well as his shoes down below, which again have a good helping of blood or marinara sauce splattered on both sides. It's probably blood. Even like to this point right here, even though this is the hand that's doing all the slashing, I like at least they put a little bit of blood mist on this side of the hand as well. Yeah, it's a nice looking figure. It's just, I feel if anything, it needs just a little bit of darker colors just to really enhance the experience. Maybe if anything also, they could have also darkened the opening of his mask so that the eyes weren't as so easily readable as when you're looking at it. It's small in size, and of course it's action. These are stylized figures, so there's absolutely no posability. I mean, they could have incorporated a ball joint or something into the head that you could move it around, but the whole idea of these is the fact that you're getting like stylized renditions of these characters from popular cartoons, because we have actually gotten some Thundercats MiniCo figures. I would like to get those at some point as well. But yeah, it's a really nice looking Jason. I think the logical next step from this, seeing how well, and first of all, actually, you know what, let me interrupt my thought for a second. I also like the way that they have the head slightly angled down. It really has a nice looming presence to it. Sorry, go ahead, person behind the camera. Thank you, person that interrupted me. What I was going to say, though, I think the next logical step in all this, providing that they still have the luxury to be able to do Friday the 13th merchandise, similar to what we actually got with the Pennywise, which again, we can just reach off to the side, not knocking packaging in the process, but we'll just slide over Jason Voorhees, bring in Pennywise. Now, again, Pennywise here was a black and white release, which I think was a Zavvi exclusive. There was an original colored version of Pennywise that I would like to still get at some point, but I think kind of taking the same cues that they did with Pennywise and gave a variant to Jason Voorhees. You can probably already see where I'm going to be going with this, giving him a purple outfit, giving him a blue mask, and yes, releasing him as an NES Jason. I love NES Jason. Any opportunity there is for them to release an NES version of the character, always want to pick that one up. I think having well done the Jason Voorhees here, Iron Studios, I think really should re-release this guy at some point. Please, at some point, in the NES colors. I would be instantly picking that one up. No pun intended, but I actually was hunting this guy down for months. I think originally Iron Studios had announced online that he was going to be getting a June release of last year. And unfortunately, I don't think he was released in June of last year. He's only just been recently released. I was lucky enough again to find this one over on Entertainment Earth's website. And the moment I did see it, I instantly added that to my shopping cart. Like I said, I was looking for this one for a while. Something that you may also see just off to the side of Jason Voorhees is the side packaging artwork. I really like the way that they've scratched the mask in. Actually, they've really given it a nice scratched in kind of sketching of Jason Voorhees. But you see how his eyes are slightly darker, and there's all these little scratched lines that they've added to his mask. I think that's something that they could have really added to this Jason Voorhees. While I like the look of him, I feel both his head as well as his mask are too clean. I don't certainly encourage that they would have added all this extra unnecessary blood onto his face. I think where they've put the blood is in convenient and suitable places, putting on his hand, the main place where, of course, he's slashing those teenage counselors, putting on his shoes, which, of course, would be naturally dripping, and just putting a little bit of spray on the side of his hand is more than enough for me. It doesn't necessarily need to be on his mask, but I think adding just a little bit of darker coloring to both his mask and his head would have really given some nice contrasting colors to Jason Voorhees. Again, he feels like from the mask and the head just a little too clean for my liking. And again, I would have exaggerated that one eye, made it a lot lazier, and even have maybe gone the Shannon Doherty route. Oh, we're still picking on Shannon Doherty. I would have maybe dropped that eye just a little bit. Seriously, if you look up Shannon Doherty online, I really hope she doesn't watch these reviews. Her eyes are misaligned. I think there's other celebrities that... Natalie Dormer, I think Livin Slim actually said that Natalie Dormer has lopsided eyes. So you can look that up as well. I don't know why. Just spend an afternoon looking at celebrities with lopsided eyes. But yeah, I would have lopsided Jason's eye there. Really played up to the idea that his face is disfigured underneath. Other than that, though, really nice release. I hope at some point, though, Iron Studios does release a MiniCo Jason Voorhees in those NES colors. Please, please let that happen. Have you guys had a chance to pick this one up? If you haven't yet and has had this one or have had this one in your radar for a while like I have, like I said, I'll provide the link down below to Entertainment Earth's website where I found this one. It was just a little over, I think, $30. I mean, I'm willing to pay the $30 to get a Jason Voorhees stylized like this. It's going to look great on my shelf. But what do you guys think of the figure? Let me know down below in the comments section. And for your viewer question for today, I'm not going to ask you what celebrities have lopsided eyes. I think that would be rather mean, says the person who keeps commenting on Shannon Doherty. But no, for your video question for today, which Friday the 13th movie has your favorite look for Jason Voorhees? Let me know down below in the comments section. Let's see how many people actually have similar favorite Jasons. Again, let me know down below in the comment section. Hey, now, if you are new to this channel, you're enjoying the content that you're seeing, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell notification and keep, yes, your peepers peeled, straight or lopsided, because there's definitely going to be a lot more reviews coming your way in the not-so-distant future. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.